te mōhio anō hoki ko te hihia o tēnei kāwanatanga ko te whakahōhoro i ngā kaupapa. So with the Public Works Act amendment legislation that closes tonight, the focus is on fast-tracking the acquisition of whenua for fast-track purposes, but also for other take. So this will motuhake, a permanent change to the legislation, which will enable incentive payments to be made to landowners. So this is whenua Māori, as well as general title whenua. And the Crown can come and propose that they will give these incentive payments to speed up your approval and acceptance of the public works takings. Now, as Tiwi Māori, we've lost whenua for generations through the Public Works Act. We've given enough, is the short version. And I had a members' bill that the coalition government voted down earlier this year, which proposed to enable Māori to be able to say yes or no to the taking of their land. They ignored that and they voted it down. So with this amendment legislation for the Public Works Act, they can still take your whenua. You don't get to say ka hore. Now, as Māori, we get the ability to go to the Environment Court in this legislation, which is lovely, but we can't afford it. It's hugely expensive. And there is no fun in going to court on this matter. If you have general title whenua, and that's Māori mai Pākehā mai, many of us have general title whenua, they can still take it. And if you object, the minister will have responsibility to say yes or no, and his officials. You will not be able to go to the Environment Court if you have general title whenua. So that's the short version. Yeah, fast track is a horrible piece of legislation whereby community will not know. It's a non-notifiable consent process. So those who are engaging both in a fast track project will be those immediately affected. So they will determine at the Crown or determine who's immediately affected, and us as iwi Māori. We have a lot of fast track listed, 149 projects, puti I Aotearoa nei. And with this amendment to the Public Works takings, if you object and you have general title, you cannot contest in the Environment Court. If you object and you're whenua Māori, you can go to the Environment Court, but it's hugely expensive and it really impacts on us as iwi Māori to be able to retain our land. But ultimately, compulsory acquisition of whenua, general title and whenua Māori will happen through this legislation. Yeah, well, I mean, historically, we've had a lot, right? As iwi Māori, you can look at our state highways, you can look at the rail corridors that are across our whenua, the towns and cities that were built on top of us. But last night on One News, Te Atiwai Hurihanga Nui profiled Kōpua Waiwaha block, which is a whenua Māori block in southern Whangarei, who has been battling for years to retain their whenua outside of a public works taking to connect up the Northland Rail Corridor to Marsden Point. Now, Te Atiwai has been following it for a while, and the Whenua Trust has been told verbally that Kiwi Rail will change the route. Nothing's come in writing. It's really interesting. So the auntie who was on One News last night said, no, ka hore whakapono ana. No. Not until we see, it in writing, kia turengia, that their whenua will be free of public works takings, ka whakapono rātou, because the Marsden Point rail spur is a fast track. So this legislation here will be utilised to take the whenua in a faster mechanism, because this whānau has known for a while now that Marsden Rail Spur is a priority of the government for about over a decade. And so they've been pakanga tonu to protect the little bit, the pihi whenua that they have left. So, it's a real thing, and there's more to come. There will be more to come. Yeah, so you can Google Public Works Amendment Bill, and it's on the website there. You go in and you put in your details, you put your kōrero, your concerns, your worries, because, like a mediated process, the ability for us to have a slower mediated process, maybe we can find workable outcomes. The issue is that Public Works has nothing except acquisition of whenua as a pathway. It's going to be very hard to contest. So you can Google it. We'll also supply the link to our FM, so you can share that as well. But we only have till midnight tonight to submit on it and welcome the voice of Māori, of community, of our migrant communities, of every kokonga of Aotearoa to submit. And I'll look forward to seeing everybody on the select committee process.